Welcome, MLS Listings subscribers, to another episode of MLS Listings Live. I'm Dave Clara. I'm your host today, and we're happy to have RPR on the show today to talk about and kind of give us a grand tour of their brand new redesigned site. So let's go ahead and introduce our guests today. We have Andrea Goodhart, as well as Ernie Bottom, who are both directors of industry relations for RPR. There we go. Andrea, how are you today? Ernie, I see you. Good to see you. How are you both?
Doing great. Thank you so much, Dave.
Thanks. Yeah, no, thank you for both for coming on and, giving us this grand tour of the new site. It really is a major refresh. I've seen words like redesigned, reorganized, refreshed, some of the marketing, and it's truly that. So, but before we jump into the whole new refresh of the site, for a lot of our viewers who may not be too, sort of know about RPR, what you guys do, who you are, right? Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the refresh. And let's go to Andrea first. Andrea, would you mind go ahead and kind of giving us a background?
Oh, no, I'd love to. And, as you say, some people may not be familiar with RPR. And, RPR launched in 2010. And both Ernie and I have been lucky enough to kind of grow with the company. Ernie was here from the very beginning, and I joined in 2011. So we've seen a lot of growth within just the whole partnership of RPR. So what's unique about RPR is that we are a wholly owned subsidiary of the National Association of Realtors. So most people know us as RPR, but it's Realtors Property Resource. We're a wholly owned subsidiary of NAR. And, the whole goal back in 2010 was really, Dave, with the whole idea that public record information as far as property was becoming very prevalent on the internet for the consumer. So NAR leadership really had the insight to say, we need to make sure that we provide as much, if not a better comprehensive, resource to our realtor members. And so with that, RPR was born. And, MLS Listings, you all were very early adopters in 2011. So many of your veteran members, have been with us along the ride, but there's always new members. So, what's unique too is that RPR is only for realtors. There's no consumer access. So when a realtor member, for example, creates reports and presents those to their customers and clients, they're just wowed. And it's something that they haven't seen before, typically, because they don't have direct access. It really is here and a resource with the tools and all of the data to reinforce the realtor professional and give them what they need. And, the other thing is we gather from lots of different resources, but the data really does truly reside on the RPR database for the benefit of realtor members only. So that's really a nice, feature and a big strength for RPR. What you're kind of seeing here is just if we look at some numbers, we've grown tremendously and the industry continues to grow, right? And change as we see MLSs across the country, somewhat shrink or regionalize or do different types of agreements. But, right now there's about 1,000 local associations and 603, or give or take a few, right? Because that's always changing.
Right.
But there's, that many MLSs, and we have partnerships with MLSs to integrate that MLS data into as one of those primary sources of the RPR database. So there's just a huge amount of unique data that's there, but really 96% of our realtor members have their listing data integrated into the RPR database. And you can see over 1.6 million residential listings. And what's really cool is the commercial side of RPR2 has grown a great deal in the last few years with some of our partnerships. So we'll talk about that later.
Definitely. Andrea, just I don't want to interrupt you, but just for our subscriber, everyone, viewers, at the end of the show, we're definitely going to have a Q&A session. So for everyone watching, do put your questions in that Q&A, and at the end, we'll get, to as many as possible. Just want to put that in before. A quick question for you. You mentioned nationwide data, right? And MLS licenses. I don't think a lot of you maybe understand what that means. Could you expand on that just a little bit?
Sure, sure. So it is. I mean, this is a very unique, probably the largest database of its kind. So, this graphic here that we've got popped up really kind of helps kind of give you a visual. So, that database of public parcel-centric data is on, the framework, the base. That's public records from over like 3,000 counties in the United States. And that public records data is available to all realtors across the country. So then we start layering other sources of data. We have over 300 different providers of unique data sets, and that all gets aggregated and really attached to those parcels of property. So it's not just residential, it's commercial, lot, land, farm, ranch. Every parcel has a unique, identifier. But I kind of say that listing MLS data is like the icing on the cake, because that allows us to do a lot more, provide CMAs and market activity reports, that sort of thing. But those data sources, we also put demographic data, school data, traffic counts, tenant information. So it's just a great resource where, again, part of the real goal here was to provide a source of aggregated property data in a single location to make it just more efficient for the realtor to do business and to do research. And, as kind of an outcome of all that data, we're providing reports that are useful and meaningful, that the realtor is the one that then presents that to their customers and clients. So, it's your knowledge as the realtor members to take all this wonderful data and, present that, in your consultative role to your clients.
Right,
So,
right. I love that, reinforcing the value of the realtor, right? Giving them the data, so no consumer right can get in. It's for our realtors.
Exactly. That was the whole goal in mind, is to provide those realtor members with a huge amount of data for them to present and reinforce their professional role as a realtor and why the consumer needs a realtor. But the benefit there too is that for the realtor, they can do so much more quickly and efficiently. So, working in tandem with your MLS systems and other tools, RPRs become a really valuable source to realtors.
Right. And we have you guys right on our toolkit, right on our homepage when you log in, or right there on the right, RPR. But not only that, but you guys have your own site, www.narrpr.com, right?
Right.
So realtors can go, God forbid we're ever down, but for whatever reason they can't get into our site, they could go ahead and jump right on into your site directly, correct?
That's right. That's right. I mean, we were talking about this the other day, is that so many MLSs do present an RPR link into their system, and so people forget, you can bookmark just narrpr.com and go directly, to the platform.
Right. We also have links. I mean, even on our listing itself. I mean, you take a look at a listing right there underneath the photos, right? There's the buttons in RPR. We've got a link, little button widget right there.
Yep.
A lot of avenues. You can always jump right into RPR very easily. Right?
That's what's great about working with, an MLS partner like, MLSListings, because you all see the value of that integration, and being able to work hand in hand together and make it easy for your members to flow back and forth between the tools that they use. So we love those deep links and integration points with the MLS.
Fantastic.
We've kind of talked a little bit about all this data and then what comes about from that on that platform, the RPR platform. But we have unique tools. That one is the Realtors Valuation Model, or our proprietary RVM, similar to what many people are familiar with, is just an automated valuation model. But we take it further, allowing that member to do unique things and make the adjustments based on their knowledge. But all the reports, and Ernie's going to touch on some of these, but CMA reports, market activity, mailing labels that are available. And we've got a fantastic mobile app. And on the commercial side, you see some of those points as well that are unique. But the commercial side is available to everybody. When RPR was created, we really did want to provide tools and services for every constituency of the NAR family. So that's residential practitioners, commercial, we'll touch on it later, commercial, brokers, broker managers, and even tools unique for MLSs and associations. So it's really, a full complement of services and products and tools.
Fantastic. And we will definitely circle back. I'll make sure we're going to talk a little bit about the commercial later. And your mobile app, so you can download your mobile app on just the App Store or Google,
Exactly.
just like anything else, right?
Right.
So yeah, definitely that gives you, it gives our subscribers another tool, whether it's MLS Touch, it's, whatever ones we have, RPR, Homestyle, whatever one, the more the better for our subscribers to have.
Exactly. And what's unique about the RPR mobile app too is that, it's the same account. Everything that you do on the desktop is immediately available to view on your mobile app, and vice versa. If you take pictures or notes on a property or send out a report on the mobile app, you go back and look at your desktop, your laptop, all that data is there. So it's
synced up.
Completely synced automatically, which is
fantastic.
Really cool.
Nice. I think that's a great overview for RPR there, Andrea. So Ernie, I haven't forgot about you. I'm gonna pose this one to you now that we kind of got a background of what you guys are for those viewers who may be not too familiar with you. The refresh, it is a big major refresh. So Ernie, I guess anytime we make changes like that, I think you guys will know the question is, wait, what is the refresh and why? Why do you guys feel the need to do it, right?
Well, yep. So like Andrea said, RPR launched back in 2010. So it was definitely time to give it a facelift and, refresh a lot of the tools and the resources. The data, of course, that's updated all the time anyway. But yeah, over the years, we've been getting feedback from users, things they like to do, things that they thought they could do better. Of course, we've made changes over the years as we've been going, but it's really time to give the site a new modern look, and that's what we've really done. So let me just show you a quick video that kind of walks, at least sets the table for us, and then we can drill down a little bit deeper.
Sounds great.
Dear Realtor, we heard you. You've been asking for a simplified RPR experience. So we've done just that. We've reorganized the layout on your homepage, increased the white space, the font size, the imagery. So with every login, you can just focus on what's necessary. Residential and commercial properties are now searchable from one area because, well, let's face it, a realtor should have quick access to any property at their fingertips. And to ensure faster productivity, well, we've created shortcuts to your most powerful tools. And now you can keep an eye on your market areas right on your homepage and view what you want the way you want it. And that's really what this is all about. You. Because when we're helping you live out your purpose of wowing clients and closing more deals, we're living out ours. Sincerely, RPR.
So that was just kind of a cute little video. Again, just to kind of set the table as to the changes and updates. But yeah, this is the redesigned homepage, and like they said in the video, starting in the upper left here, we added that nice clear toggle right there to go between residential and commercial. So the user experience will be the same whether you're on commercial or residential. Certainly these fields will change, and obviously you're going to look at commercial data, but it's a really nice, easy to navigate platform. And like Andrea mentioned, all realtors have access to the commercial RPR, so it's not just for commercial practitioners. Also want to take a look at this top nav that we have here. We've got kind of things broken down into little categories. Under research, that's where you're going to look for properties, neighborhood information, school information, market activity information. Under marketing, this is where you can go to kind of look for prospecting for new customers, for new listings, generating property flyers, things like that. The reports, well, that's kind of self-explanatory. All of our great RPR reports are in there, both residential and commercial. We've got the learning link here as well. And what's nice about that is depending what page you're on in RPR, that content will change. So here on the home page, you'll get certain videos and certain articles. When you're on the search results page, it'll be different there, or the reports page. So it's just kind of, and what's nice too is all of those learning topics are in little bite-sized pieces. They're, maybe a 3, 4, 5-minute video. It's not a whole big, 60-minute full training class. And then under the help link here, we also have places where you can research issues or topics. You can call our call center, which is staffed 24/7. So again, a lot of great resources. And then the My Work, that's where you're going to find your listings that you have. You're also going to find recent properties, saved searches, all of that, that custom content. And then let's see, the shortcut menu, that's right here. That's these big buttons right kind of front and center here. And like the video said, these are kind of step-by-step taking you through these different popular items, I guess, if you will, on the website. You want to do a CMA or look at the opportunity zones, or again, with this newly redesigned website, maybe you want to just take a tour of the homepage. But again, it'll walk you step by step through that process. Yeah, I mean, what's your impression, Dave, of the homepage? It's a big improvement.
It's a major improvement. Yeah, no, not to badmouth your old site, but let's face it, this is by far, I mean, I was really impressed when I went in, because a lot of times, you hear that, oh, it's a refresh, and maybe there's just one, a couple little things. I mean, this is a complete overhaul, I would say. I've always known you guys, because I've used RPR for years now, and I love your CMA. I love all the reports, whether it's a property report, a school report, or you're just looking for a flyer, right? You're in a jam, I need a quick flyer. It's all there. But the site design is really nice. We'll get into a little later, of course, how to really get the training on. We're not going to dive too deep into the nuts and bolts of every little keystroke here. But they can certainly get that, and we'll talk about that later. But I love the site. I love it.
Yeah, we've had such great comments. Yeah, initially we had a couple of speed bumps where things were a little slow because everybody wanted to see it right away. But yeah, if you've logged in recently, it works faster than ever, and the reports come up right away too. Next thing I just want to show you is one of the things we redesigned as well is the search results page. So when you do a search, you've got different options of how you want to view those properties. This is the list view. If you want to, right from here, you can jump over to the mailing labels and do a little prospecting. You can also select individual properties and then do a nice printout of just those selected properties.
That's a cool feature.
Yeah, it is nice, because before you couldn't, you had to print them all.
Yeah.
And then this is the new look that we came up with. It's called the grid, photo grid. So you've got these nice big photos here. You can always, again, yeah, isn't it pretty? You can always, again, check those properties that you want to print. You've got the mailing labels. You can even favorite properties. So it's just a nice, concise, and attractive way to look at the search results. And then the final one is the map view. And you can see the map, it fills the whole page. It's nice and big and easy to navigate. Again, any of your saved areas are going to be right up here on the left. The geographic boundaries and overlays, you can drill down to the small census tract or do a whole county, zip code, whatever it might be. And then over on the right side, we've got some really unique tools as well. Just some of the new ones that we've added under view. There's a terrain view. So if you're in kind of an area that's kind of hilly or, different changes in elevation, you'll see that on the map. We also have under the drawing, you've got the ones that we had before, the polygon and the box and the radius, but we've also added a freehand drawing tool. So you can basically just take the mouse and, draw your own area. It works out really nice. I found it a little difficult, but you start using it, it'll be pretty easy. And then under the data layers, if you remember the old map on the RPR system, kind of down at the bottom, we had what we called heat maps. We now call those data layers. So they're there. It's just under the data layers is where you have to look for those.
Right, Ernie, that's like people have said, what happened to the flood maps, the FEMA flood maps? What happened to, some of those other heat maps? Well, we just changed the name to data layers, and it's much more obvious.
Right, I was going to say, that's really what they were.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I like the change. As a trainer, that's one of the things you always kind of get. What the heck is a heat map?
Yeah. And if you're on commercial, you'll get additional overlays, again, pertinent to that business. Let's see. Oh, just wanted to show you again, Dave, we talked about the reports a little bit. So remember over on the left-hand column, the reports that you generated were over there. Now they're right front and center, right here at the top of the reports tab. So again, you've got those right there, easy to access. And then also, this plus sign, that's what you want to click on when you want to drill down to the different sections of the report. So for instance, you've still got your custom pages that you can add into the report, and then you've got all the various report categories. Again, you can access just by clicking on the little plus sign that was there by the reports. And we have all those great reports that are still in there. And then again, with commercial, you've got a trade area and a commercial property report as well. So again, lots of great reports. And that's one of the things we hear the most, is that those reports are so attractive and informative. The consumers love them. You can email them, and they just work out great.
Right. Yeah. I mean, school reports and property reports, and that is one of the things I've always kind of highlighted when we train for RPR is make sure you're taking advantage of some of these reports, because obviously you're gonna need them. So, and there they are right for you free. So
yeah. And then just again, what Andrea mentioned is some of the things. Well, where did they go? So this is just a property. The property summary tab. You're looking for the CMA. You've still got a couple options. One is right here at the little tab at the top. And then also right on the property summary tab, you can click on create a CMA. So again, it's very easy to find when you're on an individual property. The other thing is, like Andrea mentioned, to your profile, used to have that little gear that you would click on. Now you just want to click on your picture, or it might have your initials up there if you haven't uploaded a picture. But then you can easily access your profile or your settings right from that little link. Also for the brokers, that's where you would access your data tool right here from the home page. So again, it's all there. We didn't get rid of anything. One thing I guess I should say is the all property search. If you remember that, we don't have that link right now, but if you do look for sold properties, you can add the public record sold properties as well. So you kind of do get all the properties. It just, there isn't a thing that says all properties. You have to kind of add them both in.
Gotcha.
It's really funny. We've all used RPR for so long, and we're creatures of habit of knowing exactly the steps. So yeah, we moved the cheese a little bit for folks, but all these features are here. First few days, it's like, what happened to the CMA? And it's like, it's still right here.
Right.
But visually, we have to readjust a little bit. So
sure.
We really like the new format now that we're used to it too.
Yeah. No, I went in and at first I thought, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to relearn this whole system to train people on it. But it really does flow nice. It once you're in there, you can play around real simple, and you do realize everything is still there. It is just a little bit of a different look and feel, and maybe enhanced, but you're not losing anything for sure.
Right.
So.
Exactly. I love the new map view. Right, the map view is so large. And
really
it's
nice.
all right there for you, and then with some new tools added to it. So that's a critical piece.
Well, and part of the redesign too was our blog site. I mean, we launched that, actually, I think it was the day before we launched the website. So when you go to, when the address is right at the top there, blog.narrpr.com, there's still a learning link there at the top on the homepage, and it's going to take you to this nice interface where you can, really drill down and decide, what do you want to learn? Is it commercial or residential, beginner or intermediate? Do you want a whole webinar? Do you just want little tutorial videos? How long of a class do you want? So it's really nice. And most of the classes too, in addition to having a live webinar that is, I'll say, scheduled for maybe a couple of weeks out or things like that, many of them have a watch now feature. So it's not live, where you can ask a question, but you could watch it, basically at your convenience. So it's really nice to have that capability.
Sure, I really like the blog, and I would suggest viewers to bookmark the blog site right there, have it ready anytime you need an answer, because you can really just tell it exactly what you need. It's pretty nice there.
And the other thing is that we made the learning much more obvious right on the top navigation bar, Dave, as well. So on the main menu of the site, you'll see learning up there, and there's lots of different ways too, and many of those can also direct you here. So yeah, we're trying to put the learning all over, trying to make sure we can educate, with your all's support and help and training as well. 1.4 million realtors around the country, and everybody learns differently. Some like,
Right.
live sessions, some like printable, something tangible in their hands to follow. Others like the short videos. So we've just tried to do a little bit, of a broad spectrum of different learning tools.
Excellent. That's fantastic.
And I guess the other two little pieces that we kind of touched on earlier, but didn't really get into much detail is the commercial RPR. Andrea, you want to just hit some of the highlights on that?
Oh, sure. Dave, we were kind of talking about this a little bit before too. And, RPR, we tend to have focused on residential or talk about a lot of the residential tools, but there are so many practitioners that practice both residential and commercial. And then of course there are, some that focus strictly on commercial. Well, a few years back, we really took a real focus with NAR's support and assistance too for the commercial practitioners to broaden the data and also the partners. So with this, we've expanded the partners, meaning that we're integrating listings into the RPR platform from some of these national listing platforms. So Crexi and Brevitas, Land Broker Co-op is just strictly land by proxy. Many commercial practitioners may belong to a CIE, which is a commercial information exchange. So those sometimes with Catalyst or other providers, those listings are integrated, but also, for example, MLSListings has commercial property types. Those automatically are integrated, as part of our MLS licensing agreement. But as you can see, with all of this data here through our partners, it's also gathered. And I think on the next slide, you'll see, some very significant national commercial partners as well. So we don't want RPR to be thought of as just a residential tool. It does have a great amount of data on the commercial side, and the data elements that we've added and into the reports that can be very, useful to residential practitioners of just looking at trade area that shows demographic and consumer spending data, tenant information, points of interest, and traffic counts, for example, are all part of the commercial part of RPR. But so, it's really grown in the last few years, and we're really proud of what's offered now on commercial listings and just the reports as well.
Yeah, I've noticed over the last few years, you guys have really expanded your commercial section, kind of enhanced it a lot, which is great because, residential, we do a lot of residential, but we've got commercial brokers and agents and realtors, right?
Right.
And so it's nice they can get either or, the whole gambit.
And I mean, keep in mind what this does is this isn't just, I think everybody starts to think about just their own community or immediate area, but this is nationwide data. So whether you have a client that's local or looking to, move somewhere or would purchase land in some other part of the country, active listings very likely are there, but public record data is too. So it really needs to be seen as, a resource for national data.
Yeah, and it could be a multifamily property too. It doesn't have to be a big office building,
Exactly.
Yeah, and then we just wanted to mention too the tools that we have for brokers, for individual brokerages. We can do branding of the RPR website and the reports for your company. We've got an AVM that you can use on your brokerage website. Again, all these tools are included in RPR. There's no additional costs or upgrades. You can put some deep links to RPR right in your brokerage site for your agents. And we even have learning resources that are, really nice to just feature at an office meeting or something like that. So again, you'll find information about this on the blog site. And again, there's no cost for it, but you do have to enroll, so we get your logo and things like that.
Right, which is good to do if you're going to be printing out those reports. Just set up your broker, your logo, set up your branding, and then you don't have to worry about it every time you do a report. You're all set, right?
Yep. So exactly.
Nice. So I tell you what, this is fantastic stuff. Now, training wise, obviously we've taken a big picture kind of look at this. There's a lot to it. Training wise, you all have been nice enough to let us on our training calendar link up all your training classes right there. So first off, they can go to our training, our training calendar, or our support center, who's got our training calendar there as well. And they can just go ahead and go right into the classes that way, register, or go right into your learning section or your learning blog, as you mentioned, right on the RPR site. A lot of different ways to get the actual training.
That's right. And your whole training staff too has, become very proficient in teaching RPR. And I know that you've done, Zoom classes, or, maybe when we're back out in the field, some of those live type sessions. But we have a certified training program as well that's on the blog for companies, or, for example, brokerage technology trainings. They can become certified, and we give support materials. But yeah, the amount of materials that we have is pretty phenomenal on the blog, but then what you all provide too, I love. And that's a new feature, right, Dave, where you've taken all of our national live webinars, and those are now integrated into your local calendar. So
right, that's brand new. Right, so you go to our calendar, you're going to see it loaded because we've got an RPR, all your different classes, and I'll tell you, I take them as well because like you said, we train RPR, but obviously we want to get it right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So we learn something every time. I would highly suggest, not only take, of course, the classes we take, but go take those RPR right from those RPR trainers and get that really in-depth training there for the product, because it's so vast. This system really is vast and so much data centric. So can't encourage that enough, right?
Well, and it's, so much of what we offer is, like Ernie was showing with this, it's topical. So if you're really focused and you want to learn about, how to do our CMA, you can drill down and just get those videos that are pre-recorded that you can just look at over and over if you need to, and on-demand stuff. So if you like to do some of your education and learning at night, sipping on a glass of wine and
Right.
just watching a few videos, you could do that if you wanted to.
That's very nice. Yeah. No, and we'll have, of course, we record this, and so we're going to have this up on our YouTube site. It's also available on our pro support page. And so, for those viewers who, we'll have it right there if they need this material information, these links right up there. We've got a ton of questions, so maybe we move to the Q&A. And let's see what we've got here. So let's see here.
This one up. So if people want to take a screenshot or whatever of just this is great. our RPR Facebook Connect on Facebook, a lot of that's really agent driven, where agents are asking agents. We'll pop in too and answer questions. And don't forget, you guys have great customer support, but we also have our RPR, 24/7, 365 days a year, friendly folks in Omaha, Nebraska.
You got it.
Right.
No excuses. There's a lot of ways. So I tell you what, let me just go through some of these. Miranda has been so nice to send me some of these questions here. So first off, how do you log in through the mobile app? I imagine it's the same credentials to log in to the desktop version as the mobile.
Yep, you just want to, the easiest thing is to have your account activated on the website. And then, like you said, Dave, either get the app from Google or from the App Store, and then just log in. Same email address, same password as the website, and it works out great.
And if you haven't created an account yet, the only thing that you'll really need is your NRDS number, your NAR, NERDS number. Because what that does is that validates that you're a NAR Realtor member and that you should have access to RPR. So, create the account, but it's the same login credentials for both app and desktop.
Excellent. Let's see here. Moving on here. How can I access RPR through NAR? Who do I contact when I have trouble logging in? Was that just
That's that phone number you see right there in the center of the screen. Just call our help desk. Many times it's just somebody forgot their password, or maybe their NERDS number didn't get updated. It's very easy for us to fix that.
Excellent. This agent says, I have clients moving out of the area. How fresh is the data on other places like Seattle? Can they get the data before my client does? I imagine the data.
As far as data updates, our goal with our MLS partners is that we're getting data updates, through our RETS feeds, et cetera, through our partners many times throughout the day. Some of the goals, and many, it's every 15 minutes. Some may be lagging a little bit behind that as far as MLS data. And I'll also caution that not all MLSs across the country display their active listings, but it's a very high percentage. So remember, everybody's got access to the public record data. And then many MLSs across the country show their active listings. And then typically the off-market listings are for subscribers or for reciprocal partner MLSs. Only. So if you've got somebody moving, hey, I'm here in Houston. Houston shares their active listings. So if you have somebody moving here, you could do a search on RPR in a particular area, maybe see agents that are active in an area. So this is a great referral resource, right? Going both ways, but also give them a sense, send them a neighborhood report, but other market activity reports, just to give them an idea of where they may be moving to.
Yeah, and they can kind of compare then what are home values in this area. What am I going to have to pay for that same home in this new area? So it's great to have all that national data.
Definitely. What are the opportunity zones and shortcuts?
Yep. So when you're on the map, one of the geographic boundaries or overlays that you can choose is opportunity zones, and these are federally designated areas that they're trying to stimulate some economic development. And so there are tax incentives for people who purchase properties in those areas. So again, it's been a great tool for practitioners to, again, to help their customers, their buyers, find those properties and take advantages of those incentives.
Cool. I think I can answer these couple of questions. Is this tool free for Santa Clara County Association of Realtor members? Is it free for MLS listing members? Yes. Right? You have some realtors, right? You do have to be a realtor. So if you're a member of a board, you're going to get access. And of course, MLS listings, like we said, has it as a membership to MLS listings. You guys are part of our toolkit. You get access right there for free.
Exactly. I think when I was starting off and I said, okay, this is 100% owned by, NAR Realtor Tools, and it's a member benefit. What that means is you're paying for RPR through your NAR dues, but there's no additional cost. So we say, oh, here's a CMA tool, or here's a report, or, whatever. There's no cost to this. If you're a Realtor member, it is a true member benefit, Realtor member benefit that's delivered through NAR, RPR, and our partnerships with you as an MLS and local associations.
Excellent. And just maybe one or two more here. Let's see, what type of information is provided for schools? It's always a big issue, a big topic.
Ernie, you want to take it?
Yep. We partnered with a company called Niche, and it's a national company that provides ratings on schools. They provide all kinds of information, number of students per teacher, what are teacher salaries. People can submit reviews, and it's both public and private schools. So that's right there on RPR. You can print real nice school reports. So it's a great resource that we have there.
Fantastic.
I think too, with Niche is a publicly available resource, but the way we've kind of connected it, so we have school boundary information. So you pull up a property, you're going to see the schools that it resides within, but there's test score information, and those are great reports. If somebody's moving into an area, it gives contact, their address, their phone number, all sorts of cool data.
Very good. I tell you, some of these seem to be, I think we've answered a couple of these while we've been talking, but one said, my clients love charts and graphs with stats on their city and zip. Can RPR do that?
Yeah, we've got great graphs, charts, graphs, all of it. And what's really nice is every one of those charts and graphs on the reports has a little paragraph explaining, well, what does this mean? And it gives you the source of the data and then how often it's updated. So it's all right there on the reports. The clients love it.
Fantastic. And I say one to know is RPR training events on the MLS calendar. Is that RPR trainers or MLS trainers? And I think we covered it, but just as you know, you can, if you're taking an RPR, it is RPR trainers. If it's the RPR class, our trainers do also a class as well. So, but it will say when you're looking at our training calendar, it'll say RPR. You'll know it's an RPR class train, right? As opposed to one of our trainers for MLS listings. So I think that's pretty clear. Let's see, just maybe one or two more. Then,
Dave, let me make one comment that just popped into my head too about the reports and all the graphs and charts information. What's really nice is, like on the seller's report or just a property report, again, you can select what features or what pages of data you want. So if you're working with a retired couple that could care less about schools, you can eliminate those pages from the report. You're working with an engineer that loves all those charts and graphs, then make sure those are all checked, right? So it just depends on the client you're working with, how large or how limited of a report you want to be able to have.
Right. Like I always trade on the CMA or CMA, and I always tell agents, if you want if you've got a real technical client, you guys got it, all the bells and whistles, charts, you want 60 pages and binder it up and give it to them, right? Or if you got someone more like, my parents aren't going to read 60 pages, well, you can throw out all that stuff and just keep it simple, right? So you customize it the way you want, and it's branded with your brokerage colors and logos, right? As long as you set that up before you run the report. So nice and simple. Let's see here. Is there resources to help explain reports? I'd imagine that would be right there at your blog, right? Go right in and you guys pretty much had it all right there. Just click on what you need. And of course, reports are going to be part of it.
Yeah.
Yep. And that learning menu there's a learning menu right on the reports page. Again, that's going to walk people through step by step on that.
Fantastic. So I think we've got through most of the questions here. We'll try to go ahead, and if I missed any here, we Well, so I'll try to maybe reach out to you guys. But you got a phone number right there. They can give you guys a call, right? That 877-977-7576.
That's
Right
right.
on the screen. And they can always reach out to our support group. We'll get the answers as well for them. So if there's anything on here we haven't really covered. Any last words, Andrea and Ernie? You want any last words of wisdom here, or you want to leave us with before we sign on off here? It's been fantastic, by the way. I want to really thank you guys for coming on and giving us this tour. It's a great look. It's a great new feel. I really like it.
You know, I've been in the industry, as has Ernie, for some time, and I was just blown away with the amount of data in a single platform, you know, that is a member benefit, that truly is. And I think there's so much to offer. And yes, because there's so much, there can be a learning curve, but just take it one step at a time. You know,
Right.
take your own property, your mother-in-law's property, you know, cross town or in a different state. Download the app, but print a report or two, view it, and don't hesitate to call support. But take some time and kind of think about, what are you needing at the moment? Are you looking to up your game with your listing presentation? We have lots of agents now, and you know what? There's great success stories on our blog, you know, of how different practitioners use RPR. Go in and take a look at some of those videos. We have on our YouTube site all our videos. That's just NAR RPR on YouTube as well. We've got a wow factor show. Just start to absorb it and see, you know, what do you need today? Look at a market activity report. It's an easy one. A neighborhood report, a school report. Get familiar with it.
Yeah, get a good foundation. And we're going to go ahead and make sure we put, you know, on our YouTube page, a link there for your channel as well, so that, you know, if you're on our YouTube page and you want to just jump right to the RPR page, that they can do that with a click of a button. So fantastic stuff. I'm sure if there's anything in the future, let us know. We'll have you back on again. But this sounds like we've got our hands full for a little while to get up to speed on all these changes and you know, the training and everything. It's fantastic stuff. So thanks again, Andrea and Ernie. RPR.
We appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
It has been fun. And to all our subscribers, everybody stay safe out there, and tune in a couple of weeks. We'll be back with another MLS Listings Live. So take care, everyone. Thanks, Andrea. Thanks, Ernie.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Make sure to check out our Pro Support page for additional videos on a full range of topics. And don't forget to click that subscribe button on our MLS Listings YouTube page.